everyone, this is KK from KK's Priest, and you're watching Masahito's Rock City, so crank it up loud!
はい、K.K ダウニングのインタビューパート2をご紹介しましょう。K.K ダウニングもね、前回のインタビューではジュダス・プリストに戻りたかったけど戻ることができなかったなんていうね、衝撃の発言が出てきたりしたわけですけど、まあ戻ることできなければ進むしかないということで KK がこの KK's プリストを作ったわけですよね。だからもう KK が言っている通り KK の DNA の中にはもう彼が10代の頃から憧れていたジュダス・プリストというバンド、そこにやっと加わることになって、そして今日に至ってると、まあ、ジュダス・プリストそのものは50周年を迎えたわけでございますけどね。はい、KK ダウニングが激躍します。今夜も KK のインタビューご紹介しましょう。今 KK とこうやって話してるともう本当昔からパッション変わってないよね。その辺がやっぱり KK のすごいところだと思いますよ。
Yeah, well, I am very now that I've come this far for so many decades, I do feel very passionate and protective about this wonderful music that was created, you know, since when I started to now. It's very, very precious to me. I guess we call it classic or true metal, you know, but what I'm really talking about, and Master, you will know because, you know, so many fans were there, so many fans have been on this magical journey with us, where we've been to so many great concerts, we've bought so many great vinyls and CDs, we've seen so many great bands come and go, you know, and it's very, very magical. But the album Sermons of the Sinner, we sing, we write and sing about the dangers of all of this maybe disappearing, you know, because we are of an age now, you know, and we're not going to be around forever, almost like the dinosaurs roaming the earth. And I don't want this wonderful music, you know, and to be at some point just a page in the history books in 50 years' time. I want to know that there's still other bands keeping his music alive and playing his music and enjoying it and the fans enjoying it, you know, because it's not old-fashioned, it's very, very precious because it was created in this very special short window in history in the 70s, you know, like in the 60s, the 70s and the 80s, especially those decades, you know, where every day almost at the Budokan and at all of these special gigs, you know, around the world, there were so many great bands, Dokken, Van Halen, almost every day there was a new band and they were all really good. And we were happy, we were in a happy time because our music was everything, all that we had. You know, when we turned the clock back, 1973, music for us fans, that's all we had. But it was all we needed because it helped us and it was very precious to us. So I'm here now saying that, you know, with Sermons of the Sinner, we will create new songs, new music to encourage people to think that this style of music still has a very great importance and relevance, and that's really, while I'm around, I'll continue to make music like this and, you know, and support this great, very precious music to preserve its place in history.
まあ、ところでアルバムは非常にバラエティに富んだ楽曲があって、例えばブラザーズ・オブ・ザ・ロードとかね、 KK がいろんな音楽をね、メタルだけではなくいろんなタイプのね、ハードロックも含むそういう音楽が好きだったのが今回のアルバムに現れてるんじゃないでしょうか。その辺どうですか？
Yes, that's correct, Massa, because as I mentioned before, when I started, there was only blues and then progressive blues and then rock, then heavy rock, then hard rock, and then heavy rock, and then heavy metal. So the evolution is a part of me. You know, I was a part of that evolutionary scale. And so therefore, in Judas Priest, we would make songs that were kind of, you know, from one extreme, we would be, you know, play a hard rock song or a heavy rock song or a rock song, but we'd play heavy metal songs, you know, so songs, you know, you could possibly have Blood Red Skies or Living After Midnight, you know, and everything in between. So you have this this variation, which I think is great, and it's a big part of the stage presence, because it's a good contrast to have songs that have some deep meaning, you know, that are kind of deeper and more descriptive, and other songs that are totally, let's rock out, we're going to see the band tonight, you know, we're on the way to a gig. And so with Sermons of the Sinner, we have songs that are meaningful, like Metal Through and Through and Return of the Sentinel, you know, and Hail for the Priest. But we also have songs like Brothers of the Road, you know, Wild and Free, Raise Your Fist. And so again, it's kind of very kind of what I've always done, you know, to have that contrast on an album. And I like that. I think it works, you know. And I hope that the fans like that too. But it's something that, as a band, you know, that and as a songwriter, that we've always done, you know, to create that kind of variation. As long as it's rock and metal, you've got rock, hard rock, heavy metal, all of that is a part of my history and my legacy.
いやだからこの K.K ズプリストのこのデビューアルバムは聴けば聴くほど K.K の歴史が全部詰まってるような気がするんだよね。過去も現在も未来も、その辺がこのアルバムの聴きどころじゃないでしょうか。
Yes, that makes me happy to hear, really. That's you know, and when I was putting the album together, I was so excited because it seemed to have all of those ingredients, you know, because it, you know, so there didn't seem to be anything missing, you know, so for that reason, I was very, very happy, you know, to have the combination of songs that, you know, had these different kind of elements that we were talking about, you know, so I'm very, very pleased, and I'm very happy to say that the next album is starting to sound kind of also the next album sounds like a continuation of this album. It doesn't sound like a new album, it sounds like a continuation from this album, and I think that that's good, and that's the direction I want to go.
K.K ズプリストってライブバンドですよね。ライブバンド、曲聴けば分かりますよ。ライブでもっともっとレコードよりもすごいパフォーマンスを披露する、そういうバンドじゃないかと思うんですけど、その辺の見解どうですか？
100%, Master, 100%. Always when you know, writing songs and putting the album together, the whole thing, I really believe that all these songs will work really well live, you know, and that was in my mind when putting the songs together, because there's lots of, you know, participation, parts for the audience to join in with us and sing along, and yeah, and definitely this band will be, I promise, a very good, exciting live band to watch, because that's what I've always done, and that's what I always will do. So you will see a massive amount of energy, trust me, even though I'm old, but like I say, I always said for many, many years, the older you get, the younger you have to play.